There are silent problems. I turned on the microphone now. There's only 4 problems. All right, let's look at this one. This one better be which one? Arctangent. Look at all the answers, right? But you just have to get the parts right, okay? It's already set up for you. This we're going to think of as 2 squared. So 1 over a. What's your a? 2. It's got to be answer choice A, doesn't it? Or the first one? Arctangent of your u over your a plus c. Boy, that's a gimme. Especially if you've got the formulas in front. You don't even need the formulas in front of you for that one, I think. You want a lot of that one? Yeah. Just number 5. The whole test is number 5. I'm waiting. We good? Okay. All right, number 6. Find an equation of the tangent line to the graph at the point. All right, so we have the point. We need to get the slope. How do we get the slope? Find the derivative. Okay, so we need the a to the u derivative. So what is the a to the u derivative? Natural log of? No. Do we have the table in front of us, guys? Get the table in front of you. I put it on the welcome page for your haiku. Okay, I think. Is it on the top of the welcome page? It's on the side? Okay. So grab that in front of you. So it's the natural log of what? Yeah. 3. Okay. And then it is, what else? I'm looking at the wrong. A to the u, right? So exactly the way it looks. And then you need to do the chain rule. What's the chain rule going to give you? A negative. All right. And then I'm going to put that in the denominator. No, the derivative is only going to do the chain rule piece up here. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to put in actually, did I need to move it to the denominator? I shouldn't have done that, because can't I just plug the -1 into it there, and it's going to make it go back upstairs anyways? So negative natural log of 3, 3 to the -1, which is going to go positive. So it's really, the slope is -3 natural log of 3. So y minus 3 equals -3 natural log of 3 times x minus -1. All right, well, I'm getting Sage's test. See if you can get it simplified. You can go into the lab. The lab's already open. Hang on, let me grab. I'm going to make you fill out the test paper again. I don't know if you did it before or not. Emily knows what I did with it. All right, where is, oh, here they are. You do a yellow one. Okay, and I'll make the password your first name. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright. Did we move it over? Yeah, did we find an answer?
I'm trying to distribute still.
Still trying to distribute? Okay, this is... Do not do that. Have you seen my video?
I've seen the, yes, choose C.
Don't do the choose C video, no. All right, let's see what happens when we distribute. So we got y minus 3 equals -3 natural log of 3 x minus 3 natural log of 3, right? Oh, I see what they did with it. They did weird things, okay? And then they took and they... Yeah, let's take, so here's, actually no, they didn't. We shouldn't have distributed. Oh, look at the weird, okay, it's weird algebra. Okay, let me fix that. Okay, yeah. So we don't need to distribute, because look, that's already factored out, isn't it? In all of them. Okay, so let's move the 3 over, and then we're going to factor a 3 out. That is really bizarre. All right, so we're moving the 3 over. Okay, and then they took this 3 and they factored it out. So we've got 3, 1 minus the natural log of 3x plus 1. What's the difference between these? Oh, 1's a plus, so we're going to use, we want that one, yeah. it's almost never the calculus that's the problem, right? It's the weird algebra.
It was C.
It was C. Okay, you got lucky. Don't always choose C.
Always right.
No. There was one year when they were really bugging me about that when we were still doing the pencil and paper final, I made their Illuminate sheets with no C on it. There was no choice C for their final exam.
Wait,
So.
the third one would still be considered C.
Yes, it would be. Okay, this is the same as the last one, isn't it? It's just different numbers. Let's keep going because I want to make sure we get through the most different types we can. Okay, so I'm skipping over that one. You got to try that one on your own. It's identical to the last one. Okay. All right, we're going to find the derivative of the function. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Star this one. Pretty much guarantee you're going to see something like that. Okay. All right, we got to find the derivative. It looks like they're doing dy dx, not that it matters. Okay. Okay, derivative of natural log is what? 1 over the mess. And then we've got to chain rule it. So the derivative of that natural log is? Good. And then we've got to do this chain rule here. It's a peanut butter M&M. 6x to the 5th. All right, and then we've got to do some canceling. So the x to the 5th goes, and that just goes down to an x. So it looks like we've got 6 over x, natural log of x to the 6th. So let's see.
Look at that. C again.
No, it's, I don't see it. It might be A. What happened? It was x to the 6th. It says that it's D.
No,
Oh no. What does it say the answer is?
wait, who was the first one?
It says it's D.
It says it's the last one?
Huh, I got it right.
Something's wrong with my answers then, because it should still have a 6 in it, right? Because we have to, when we chain rule that, the 6 doesn't go away. So there's something wrong with the answer choice. I think it should have a 6 on top. That one has a 6. Oh, or this one, it should have been one of those two probably, but we'll make sure that that's fixed for the test. All right, let's look at this one. We've got to integrate. It looks like I'm going to try to use a U. Yeah, let's use a U substitution. I think the natural log is going to end up being in there, but let's use a U substitution. So what do you think your U is going to be? Yep. Okay, so du is going to be what then? Dx. And I have the x dx. I don't have the negative 16, so I'm moving the negative 16 over. All right, so for this whole denominator, we're putting in u. For the x dx, we're putting in negative 1/16 du. So we got negative 1/16, good. It's in there, right? There's a couple of them with the 16th in there.
This is natural log of absolute value.
Uh-huh. Plus c, and then I throw my u in there. So it's looking like this one here. Oh, what do you know? C again. Don't count on it. All right, we good with 9? Okay. All right, I believe this one's going to need a u again. What's your u going to be, do you think? No. Sine 2 theta. Okay, because what is the derivative of sine? Cosine 2 theta, d theta, and then the chain rule is going to give you a what? 2, right? Because I got to do the chain rule on this inside piece. So I have the cosine 2 theta. What am I missing? The 2, right? So I got to move the 2 over. So you get the best of both worlds. We get to do U substitution and all the new ones. I know. You're going to be fine. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sub in. So I've got u in for the sine 2 theta. 1, and then we've got for the cosine 2 theta dx, I'm putting in 1/2 du. And actually, guys, once you get into the u substitution, these are super easy, right? Because it always ends up being 1 over u or 1 over x, and so we know that that's just natural log, right? Absolute value of sine 2 theta plus c. This one, is it c again? Wow, that's like 3 or 4 in a row. Yes. It won't just be C on the test, you know that.
No, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Cosine was able to be used since it was a negative sign.
No, it wouldn't. You wouldn't have wanted to do that because you always, if it's in the denominator, grab the one that's in the denominator, because that's going to create your natural log situation, right? If I had done the other way, my u would have been in the top. I can't use a du that's in the denominator. Okay, so you always grab the denominator first. All right. Looking at this one, we got to take a derivative. It looks like we have a product rule going on. Is that a cubed on here? It's a 5? Okay. All right, so let's see. dy dx equals, okay, keep the first. What's the derivative of the second? Ex to the 5th times 5x to the 4th. Plus we keep the second because I needed to do the chain rule, right? And then the derivative of the first is 3x squared. All right, let's see what we can do to simplify. So let's see, I've got 5x to the multiplying, what do we do with the exponents? Add ex to the 5th plus 3x squared ex to the 5th.
Who made this now?
I don't know.
I'd say.
Is it A? Oh yeah, it's written backwards. It's not C this time. That's a good problem, actually. Because it looks hard, but it's really not too bad. And the algebra isn't awful like that one a couple problems ago. All right. This is the same one, isn't it? Or no? No, this one's an integral. Okay. So, think carefully. Let's see. What do we think the u probably is? Negative 3. Is it x to the negative 7? Yeah? Okay. So that means that du equals, so we're going to take this and it's going to go in the front. So that's going to bring, what's going to be in the front? Look at your answer choices. I see some 21s. That's good. All right, and then remember, we're subtracting 1 because we're taking a derivative. So x to the negative 8 dx. Do we see the negative 8 or x to the negative 8 in there? What's missing? The 21. So I'm moving that over. All right. We've got to do e to the u. And then for the x to the negative 8 dx, I am putting in 1 over 21 du. We like e to the u. That's almost easier than 1 over x, right? So what's the integral of e to the u? E to the u, and then plug our u in, right? So negative 3x to the negative 7 plus c. So it's looking like answer choice B this time. All right, we good with 12? All right, let's look at this one. We got to take a derivative. It looks like we just have a chain rule. What's the exponent on the cotangent? Is it cubed?
Yeah, it's squared.
Oh, it's squared? Okay. So let's see. I'm going to rewrite really quick. So f of x equals e to the cotangent of x squared. That kind of helps when we have an exponent on there because then you really see what the inner and outer functions are. So it's like a peanut butter M&M. There's going to be, we're going to have a chain rule a couple of times. So f prime of x equals, so derivative of e to the u is e to the u. So e to whatever the mess is that's up there, right? Then we got to take the derivative of the cotangent squared. So where's the 2 going to actually end up? In the front, cotangent of x, and then what's the derivative of cotangent?
I know this one negative. So cosecant squared.
Negative in front, cosecant squared x. All right, is it the second one? Is that it? Looks like it, just in a different order, right? It's all kinds of craziness going on with those answers. All right, we good with 13? All right, looking at this one here, we got to take the derivative again. All right, so we're going to have a chain rule going on again. Again, 3. Okay, a triple chain rule. So the derivative equals, what's the derivative of sine? Just cosine. Cosine of whatever's inside, right? Cosine of the mess. What's the derivative of e to the negative x? Good. E to the negative x, and then chain rule from this negative x is a negative. All right, and that should be the answer, right? Look at me, it's not C. There's a lot of not C. Don't get C. Because remember, when I do the test, I hit the button and I scramble all the answer choices, so everybody's is different. So, yeah, don't copy your neighbors because they're going to be different. All right. Looking at this one, we got to do a derivative. It looks like we got to do a quotient rule. All right. So, low d high. What's your low? X. Derivative high. 1 over x. Good. High d low minus low. What's your low? So I'm sorry, I did it backwards. Low d high minus the high. Natural log x. What's the derivative of the low? 1 all over the low squared. What happens here? They cancel. So I've got 1 minus natural log of x over x squared. I'd probably put a big star by that one too. Okay. Is it this last answer? Look, not C.
They knew that we were going to pick C.
That's right. C looks really similar to it, right? All right, we go to 15. All right, 16. Looks like we've got, it's probably a U substitution. It's not, because look at the straight derivative of it's upstairs. It isn't the derivative of the something squared, right? So it's not an arc something or other. And you guys, I would also try the U sub sometimes over the arcs, unless you see arcs in your answers. I would try your U substitution first. So let's go with x to the second. I'm not sure why this one's in here. Du equals what? Negative 2x dx. So the only thing missing is the negative, right? So x dx. All right, let's substitute. So I've got, oh, I'm gonna really shortcut the substitution here. Everything okay?
Yeah, just like this.
Okay. I don't know what I did. There you go. Okay, so for this piece here, we're putting in u to the what power? How do I rewrite a square root? 1/2. And then how do I bring that square root upstairs? I did that all in one step. So I'm saving all those lines of work. Okay. Then for the 2x dx, I'm putting in negative du. Yeah, I don't know why this is in there. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and substitute in. So I'm substituting a 0 in. What's that going to make my bottom? If I put a 0 into this, what do I get? 1. Good. All right. If I put a 1/2 into it, I get 1 minus 1/4, which is really what? 3/4. Okay, so here's why we have to be careful with that. Are those in the right order? No. So I need, in order to get them in the right order, I need to flip it and change the sign, right? I know. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't see why this is relevant to this chat. I may have accidentally put this one in there. All right. Not that it's not good, that we still need to know how to do this. All right. So we're going to add 1, right? So you get u to the what? 1/2. Divided by 1/2 or multiplied by reciprocal. Now here's the nice thing about this one. I don't have to sub my u back in because I changed my limits or my bounds there. Okay? So it's really square root, isn't it? Couldn't I write it like that instead? Totally. Okay. All right. So we've got, what's the square root of 1? 1. So 2 times 1 is 2 minus 2 square root of 3. What's the square root of 4? 2. So those cancel, and lo and behold, there's our answer. Oh, it's C. The ones with the pies in it scared me a little bit. I didn't see. I guess that, you know what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to do an arcsecant and an arctangent. Maybe that's why this one's in there. Because it's kind of starting to look like an arcsecant or something, right? It says it's B? I don't see how it's B. Maybe it's a typo on my part. I'm going with C still. Okay. All right. 17's on the calculator. So let's get that typed in while I get my calculator up, okay? I think this is the last one, right? Okay. So if you haven't grabbed your calculator, grab your calculator. Let's get that typed in. And then get the derivative picture. At least start with the derivative picture. Type this function in and get the derivative picture going. It's going to be way easier to see from the derivative than the second derivative. X. It's a 7, yes. It's second or control on the e to the x. It's been a while, huh? I think there's one like this in the hints too. What? You didn't get anything?
I'm going with C.
Okay. It's not.
If it is, what is that X to? It is C.
It is C?
No, just kidding. It's D.
It's D. Okay.
The last one.
It's the last one. It's E. So you guys know, I've told you guys this year, they only have 4 choices on your test. We're still working with the old materials. I'm not changing them in any way, but the old ones had 5. Make it easier on you? That means I'd have to rewrite something. All right. We're going scratch pad. All right. What was the function? X? Natural log. Is that my natural log? Natural log of x to the, so control divide, x to the 7th, x to the 7th over 5 over 6. That would make a difference. Okay. And I'm going to guess we might need to put a multiplication sign in there. Make sure we have a multiply in there. Oh, that's not where I wanted it. See how it's not making it look like a function, natural log? It looked like a... See how it changed to not the cursive? So now it looks like the function. That might be why you weren't getting anything. Okay? All right, but that's why we have to practice with the calc, because you don't know what they're going to throw at you on the AP test, and you have to be ready and make sure you understand what's going wrong with your calculator. All right, now we've got it, but that's the original. I want the derivative, okay, because it's easier to see extrema from the derivative, because then we're just dealing with zeros. So I'm going to remember the derivative. I go to my F2, and we're going to come over here to the button next to the book. I actually heard a name for that button, but I can't remember what it was the other day. I was looking at a TI video on something. No, it was something like the math operation button or something like that, they called it. I like the button next to the book better. All right. So you've got dx there, and you're going to go var f1 of x. And we're going to hit enter. And now what I want to do is I want to go turn the blue graph off, so uncheck the blue one, or the original. I think it's the book. The book is technically the catalog button, but I think they called it the mathematical operators button or something like that in the video. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to calculate that 0. So menu, analyze graph, 0. I'm going to go to the left, go to the right. Okay. I calculated the 0. So menu, analyze graph, 0, go to the left, go to the right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to my screen here. Control V. Okay, so there's my point. Let's see what else let's see what we can get off of that. Okay. Thank you. All right, so it says that, let's see, I'm seeing, if I was looking at this on a sign chart, 0.475, I'm under, so I'm negative, and then I'm over, so I am positive. So negative to positive, is it a max or a min? It's a min, so it's got to be this one here, doesn't it? Okay, and then it says no points of inflection. If I looked at, let's look really quick at the second derivative graph just to double check that, just in case it came down to your points of inflection. So we're going to go back here. I'm going to go to F3 and I'm going to go var. And I can, I'm not var, not yet. I can choose to either do the first derivative or the second derivative. So I'm going to go second derivative of the first function. So x. And then I'm going to go var. Oh, not of F2. I was supposed to use F1, right? Because we're doing second derivative. Var F1 of x. Enter. See how there's no zeros? So that's your indicator that there's no points of inflection. Okay, even if I grabbed it and I drug out for a while, it looks like it's never touching. Okay? All right. We good? I think that's the last one, right? Okay, so for Monday, we need to do make sure your hints are ready, because when's the test? Tuesday, and you do get to use the chart, so even though you should have had your other stuff memorized from yesterday's test, but you get to use the chart on the test, okay?